Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be filming a March plant favorites video. So I picked out 5 plants that I've just really been loving this month to look at, or I've repotted them in a new pot and it's given a new life for me. So I have all my plants over here and I'm really excited to talk to you about them. I will say it seems like it's going to be a fairly philodendron heavy video today, which is kind of surprising. I tried really hard to not pick out Hoya, like a bunch of Hoya. However, I've actually been more into aeroids within the last month or so. I think I'm just ready to, add a few more philodendron to my collection, which I have. So a couple of these are newer to me and I'm so excited to own them. So before we get into the video on my March favorite plants, I did want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Ana Luisa. Ana Luisa was so kind to send me some new jewelry pieces, which if you guys have been around for a while, you would know. I absolutely adore Ana Luisa jewelry, just jewelry in general. I'm constantly stacked up on my rings. I have all my earrings in and I just love to accessorize these days. So Ana Luisa offers some really quality jewelry pieces that I absolutely love. I wear my earrings from them every single day. I think I have 2 sets in right now of the hoops and a pair of their opal studs. And I literally don't take them off when I shower, when I sleep, ever, which might be weird, but I will say it has put them to the test and they stay in. They're comfortable. I can't even tell that I'm wearing them. And not to mention that they don't tarnish, they don't turn my ears green. It's same with all their accessories. They're necklaces that I love to accessorize with when I'm going out or I have a more dressed up day at work. I just really love to stack all their pieces because they're simple, unique items that all pair well together. And they did just add silver jewelry to the mix. I personally love to mix golds and silvers, as you'll see with my rings. Some of my rings are silver with gold accents, and then adding this Ana Luisa mood ring to the mix recently has really upped the game. First off, I'm a 90s kid, so I love the idea of a mood ring, and just in a more adult quality version is super fun. So adding the gold to the mix with my rings has really just like made me so excited. I'm constantly mixing and matching jewelry that I love and already own with Ana Luisa jewelry because, like I said, it's quality and it fits in with everything. They're simple and unique pieces. I also really enjoy the fact that they are a carbon neutral company from their packaging, which I definitely love. I love the little pouches that their jewelry comes in. I use them for everything. And their jewelry itself is carbon neutral. So they do pride themselves on being a more sustainable jewelry brand, which we love here on Lunar by Lori. Ana Luisa checks all of the boxes for me, so I really think that you guys should check them out if you're interested in some new jewelry to add to your life. I have a link in the description. It'll be the first link down below that you can use. I will also have a code down below and on the screen that you can use at checkout if you decide to get some Ana Luisa pieces of your own to add to your collection. It'll save you 20% off. And let's go ahead and get into the rest of the video now. So like I said, we are a little bit philodendron heavy today. I have been trying to add more aeroids to my collection. I've been kind of getting interested in syngoniums lately. I'm not showing you any today, but I did add 2 syngoniums to my collection recently, so that's exciting. But philodendrons have been where it's at. I've actually been so lucky to mark a new one off of my wish list, which is the first one I'm going to talk about today. So this is the Philodendron Painted Lady. I have it just sitting in this pot, which is what I'm eventually going to pot it into. I'm just waiting for the newest leaf to unfurl, and I will put close-ups of these on like a B-roll over the screen as well, so you guys can see them closely. But I recently picked this one up from a local grower. It's a teeny tiny little baby, and I got it at a really great price. It only cost $10, and I was so excited that I didn't buy the bigger Painted Lady that I saw at my local plant store for like $50. Although it was huge, I really don't have a lot of room for plants in my home. If you guys have been around, you have seen that I have a very small space. So when I saw this, I had to jump on it, and it's rooted in this little cup and it's already got a new leaf on the way. And this plant is just so stunning. I love the variegation on it. It's just so fun. It's different than any other like variegated plant that you really see. It's not like a white marbled albo or anything like that. It's just got this really pretty like orangey peachy coloring to it that I adore. It's totally up my alley, and I'm really excited for the new leaf to come in, and I think that it's going to look so cute in this little pot. Yeah, I do think that I'm going to have to get it like a pole or stake or something, but honestly, I think that I'm going to just give it like a bamboo stake or something like that, and it's very small right now. So I have a lot of time to figure that out. And the pot that I'm planting it in, I just got yesterday from Michael's. I love going to Michael's for their plant pots. Now, all of them don't have drainage holes, and I prefer drainage holes. I'm trying to get into like the Cash Po thing where it doesn't have a drainage hole and you just put a nursery pot in it, but I'm just not that kind of person. So I always just look, and if they have a drainage hole, I'm like, okay, you can come home with me. But yeah, I went yesterday and I got some new pots, and this one, they were all half off, I might mention. And this one's so cute. They also had it in a pink version, but I really like this like chartreuse color. I think it goes really well with my style of my home. And it has drainage, and it was only like $5. So if you are needing some new plant pots, definitely check out your local Michael's craft store if you have one, and maybe you'll find some goodies there, because I know I did. There were a couple more that I wanted to get, but they didn't have drainage holes. And I know I could drill a hole in the pot, but I don't trust myself with that. So we just picked out the ones that had the drainage, and I just thought this was going to be the perfect combination. I can't wait to get it planted in here. And yeah, that is my first March favorites, and I just cannot wait for this freaking leaf to come out so I can see what it looks like. It's going to be the first leaf that I've seen on the Painted Lady other than the ones it came with, and I think it's going to be so cute, and I can't wait to watch it grow up. It's going to be such a fun little journey that we're going to go on together. All right, and to break it up a little bit, I am going to go to my next plant, which is a Dischidia. This is a Dischidia Harusa? I'll put the name on the screen because I'm not sure how to say it and it never sticks in my brain. I just know how it looks when it's spelled. But it's the teeniest, tiniest little plant. Again, I'll put some B-roll on the screen so you guys can see it. But it finally rooted enough. I was really, really worried. This one came in a Hoya mystery box that I got. And I loved it. The second I saw it, it had 2 leaves. I was obsessed. I said, this one can't die. So I put it in my perlite prop box, which those plants didn't do anything for months until I put a heating mat over it because it's been winter. As soon as I put a heating mat under my prop box, they all took off and started rooting. So that is a tip. If your plants aren't rooting for you, it might just be a little too cold. Add a little heat to it and maybe you'll have some luck like I did. But as soon as I did that, this one started rooting, but also throwing out like new growth. So there is a new leaf on it. And I have since potted it up into its own little pot, which is so adorable. I love tiny little pots and tiny little plants. And I have it in a plastic baggie to transition it because going from the prop box, super humid, I didn't just want to pot it up and then put it in normal humidity. So what I usually do is I will pot it up, put it in a plastic bag, and then I'll take it from the plastic bag and I'll put it in this terrarium that I have. And then from the terrarium, that's when I will introduce it to normal room conditions. Because if the plant can't survive in my normal home conditions, I just can't own it. Because I'm not the kind of person that can use a humidifier. I have tried. I just don't want to fill it up. I don't want to worry about that. So super important to me to be able to have plants in my normal home conditions and have them actually grow and thrive. So I'm really excited to see how this one does. I've seen lots of people keeping them in normal conditions, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. I do have pretty decent humidity in my home. I live in the Midwest, so in the summers, it's fine. But this plant is so tiny and so cute, and it's got like little ripples on the leaves. Hopefully you'll be able to see in the close-up. And like I said, it's got some new growth, so I want to get it back in its bag soon. I'll honestly probably keep it in there for like another month or so before I transition it to my little terrarium. And I'm just so excited that it lived. Yes, so overall, if you really like Hoya, I have recently been getting into Dischidia, so I'm more interested in collecting some more Dischidia now. I have so many Hoya. I have like 100 Hoya. And now I'm like, okay, give me some Dischidia. So this is really exciting. I have some new Dischidias also that I'm still trying to root. So I'm really excited to broaden my Dischidia collection. And I feel like Dischidia have a lot more options for smaller leaves. But also, this one kind of reminds me of the Hoya Serpens, which I also own, which gives me the hardest time. And this one seems to be a lot easier than the Hoya serpens. So if you're having a hard time with the Hoya serpens, maybe check out the Dischidia harusa. Like I said, the name will be on the screen, but I do definitely recommend it. It's so cute, and it's just really fun to watch grow. I can't wait to see how big it will get by the end of summer. So that is my second March favorite. And we're gonna go back into another philodendron. So the next philodendron I have to show you, I didn't think I was going to ever want this one because I have a philodendron Brazil, but somebody in my local plant group was doing a plant purge and they had a ton of philodendron silver stripe cuttings, and I ignored them at first, and then she showed this one silver stripe cutting for $7. It was this one, and I was like, that actually has some pretty cute variegation. Let me just give it a go. I was already getting my Paint It Lady, so I decided I'm gonna be there anyways picking it up. Might as well add another one to my cart, and I just went for it. I got the philodendron silver stripe. She did also give me another one leaf cutting of it, which is rooting. This one was like really rooted and that one had no roots. So that one's rooting. And I went ahead and potted this one up because like I said, it had a ton of roots. I didn't want to just stick it back in water. So it's so cute. And honestly, I have changed my mind because I was like, it's just the Brazil. It's going to look just like the Brazil. And I really don't think that it looks just like the Brazil. I'll do like a little B-roll with it next to my Brazil, and you guys will see the difference if you're kind of like me. And so now I kind of want to get the Philodendron Rio as well. It might become a problem, but I love heartleaf philodendron so much. I have like 3 regular heartleaf philodendron. I have the neon philodendron. I have the Brazil. I have the variegated. I have the Micans. I just really love the heartleaf, and I know that about myself. So I'm actually really glad that I decided to buy this one. And it's so cute in this little pot. I got this pot from Target. Target also had their pots 50% off, so I grabbed a couple of them. It has drainage. I am trying to get into like more like fun pots now. I used to just do everything in terracotta, which I still love terracotta. My dog is gonna start eating, so if you hear him crunching, I'm sorry. But I still really love terracotta, and I like them for specific plants, like my snake plants and stuff. But I'm kind of into like mixing and matching my pottery now. I would ideally like to have pottery by local artists, but it's hard to find. I do have one local artist that I have a pot from, and she is about to drop another collection, so I might pick up some more. But on the affordable side, Target and Michael's have great pottery, so if you're interested, definitely check it out. This is a favorite as well. All the pottery that I'm showing you today is included in the favorites. I just like the combination of plants in their pots, and I think that's a lot of fun, as well as just having plants. So yeah, my philodendron silver stripe. I really love the variegation. It's so subtle, and it's like just a stripe down the center, and then it kind of expands with different variations of the coloring, of the cream color. So if you haven't seen one in person, I think it might change your mind when you see one in person opposed to on film or on a picture, because like I said, I really was just like, I have a Brazil, they're the same thing, but they're really not the same thing. I will give it that. So I'm happy that I got this cutting. It has 2 growth points on it. And then, like I said, I have the other leaf as well. The other leaf is huge, and it has just 1 silver stripe down the center. So I can't wait for that one to root so I can pot it back up in here as well and have a nice fuller plant. Although I will say, I freaking love when I just have a plant and it's only 3 or 4 leaves. So like when I get cuttings from friends and stuff and they're super small, I think it looks adorable in the pots. So that is my 3rd March favorites, my Philodendron Silver Stripe. And again, to mix it up, I'm going to go into the next plant, which is a Hoya. I have been keeping my eye on this Hoya very closely, and honestly, I've loved it since the day I brought it home, but I love it even more now because there's a chance that it might bloom. I'm not going to jinx it, because my Hoya calistophylla keeps like budding up, getting really big berries, and then dropping all the berries. And it's done it like 3 or 4 times now. So I'm not getting my hopes up with this one. But this is a Hoya EPC hybrid, and it says orange. So I'm going to assume the flowers are orange. I haven't reached out to the person I got it from yet to see if hers has ever bloomed. But I was going to wait and then send her photos of mine should it actually bloom. But when I got this Hoya, it was just a 2-leaf cutting. And the first thing it did was throw out a peduncle, which you guys can see there, hopefully. Again, I'll do a close-up. and then it gave me this leaf, and it's just so cute. And if it blooms, that would be adorable. I have it in this terracotta pot that I believe I got from Michael's last year on clearance, and it looks just like it kind of looks like a concrete pot, and it's just got a lot of imperfections. And this size leaf Hoya definitely needs like a larger pot, so this one's perfect for it. Even though I got it as a small cutting and it probably didn't have the biggest root system, it really took off pretty quickly in this large pot. So this is on my favorites because I'm just patiently waiting and hoping that it blooms. I'm not getting my hopes up by any means, but the peduncle has really started to change over the last week. Before it was standing straight up and it was just a tiny little buds at the end. And it was like that for almost a year. And then this past week, it started to slowly bend and get like bigger berries. So I have high hopes. I'm trying not to jinx it. I do want to get it back to its spot on its shelf as quickly as possible so it doesn't like throw a fit and just drop the peduncle or something. So fingers are crossed on this one. Hopefully, if you guys follow me on my plant Instagram, you will see this one if it blooms for me. But again, I'm not getting my hopes up. We are just going to try to ignore it the best we can and hope for the best. That was my Hoya EPC hybrid. I don't know anything about it other than that. I couldn't tell you a single thing. So if it blooms, I will send a photo to the person I got it from and see if she has any other information other than that. But I don't know that hers has bloomed. And I went over to her house recently for, like, sometimes she'll invite me over to see her plants, which is a lot of fun. She has a ton of Hoyas and they're all huge and beautiful. And I didn't actually see that one when I was there, but she had so many Hoya blooming and it was amazing to just see all the blooms in person. And it makes me excited because a lot of my plants have come from her. So it makes me excited for my own to bloom. So yeah. Anyways, on to the next plant, which is my final plant that I'm going to show you guys today. And it's honestly more of a favorite due to the fact that I repotted it. And it's like a plant pot combination that I fell in love with rather than just the plant itself. And that plant is the Philodendron Pink Princess, which is kind of a basic plant. And it's never been my favorite. And it still isn't my favorite. But in this pot, it's freaking adorable. This pot is way too big for it. There's 2 different cuttings in here. And I had them potted separately. And I wanted to just get them in the same pot because I was just sick of having all those pots taking up all the space on the shelf. So I got this pot from Target, which comes with a saucer right here. You just put it on the bottom and it looks really cute. They also had it in white if you're interested. It was $15, which I thought was a really good deal. And it feels like terracotta in a way where I feel like it's going to absorb all of the moisture, like any extra moisture. And it has a hole in the bottom, which has a cork in it, which I forgot to take out. So let's do that now. Okay, there we go. Now it can drain. But yeah, so it's a little bit too big for the plants themselves. Their root systems weren't huge, so I didn't fill it up all the way. The soil only goes to about here. But I just love the way that my Pink Princess looks inside of this pot with this color, because mine's pretty dark, probably due to lighting, and it just looks really cute. And honestly, it's like leaning, like I don't have it staked up or anything. I'm letting it just do its thing. I don't care if it becomes weird because honestly, this plant grows weird and it annoys me, but I don't mind. Now I'm kind of like in love with it. So it's still sitting under my grow lights and eventually I would hope to move it somewhere else in my house. But I want it to grow a little bit more. I'll probably chop it again and plant it back in. So I just have like a big bushy Philodendron Pink Princess. But don't get me wrong, I love the Pink Princess. I think it's a lot of fun. I love when I get a new leaf. It's so exciting to see what the variegation's gonna be. But this plant grows stupid and the leaves always get stuck and then they get damaged and some of the leaves don't come in good and constantly losing leaves because the petiole breaks because it got stuck. So if you're in the market for a Pink Princess, I'm not saying don't get one. The prices are really great these days. Don't overpay for one. That's a thing. Don't do that. Like I said, they're super easy to get now. They should be affordable. But just know that they like a ton of humidity, and even if you give them a ton of humidity, they're probably still going to do that thing where they get stuck, because I gave her a ton of humidity and it still did that. So yeah, I like down talking her, and this is a favorites video. I do love this plant, and I've had it for a long time. I got it as a 1-leaf cutting. I have since chopped it all up whenever it grew. I gave some to a friend. I granted somebody's wish with one. I have a bunch of nodes of tiny little ones that have grown new plants. So I have a lot of Philodendron Pink Princess, and I think it's a lot of fun to share with your friends because, again, it's like a treat. Every time you get a new leaf, you never know what you're going to get, but it grows stupid. So just be aware of that. And eventually I might stake it up so they stand up, but right now, like I said, I'm just letting it do its thing. It's weird. It's a weird plant. But it's a lot of fun. And I think it looks so freaking cute in this pot. Just like, look at this combination. Adorable. It just complements so well. I don't know. It like brings out the pinkier side of it or the purplier side. Because like I said, my leaves are pretty dark. And they stay that way for a while. Again, probably because I have them under some T5 Barina lights. But eventually I'll probably try to move it into different area of my home. But right now I just want her to grow a little bit more and see what I can get from her. But yeah, I do really love my Philodendron Pink Princess. And I think ever since I repotted it, I've actually fallen in love with her a lot more. Because before, like I said, she was in 2 separate pots and they were just like black self-watering pots. And I was kind of over it. And I was really considering getting rid of them. I was at Target buying some new pottery. And I found this pot and instantly I was like, I need to get that for my Pink Princess. So I did, and I do really enjoy it, and I'm glad that I repotted it. That is something that you should know. Like, if you're falling out of love with the plant and you're like, I feel guilty, I don't want to get rid of this, it means so much to me, I've had it for so long, maybe just give it a new pot because it's fun to accessorize your plants, okay? Just give it a shot. Give it one more last-ditch effort, and if that doesn't work for you, then you can make the decision to part with the plant. But I think just giving it a new pot is really going to change your outlook on that plant. So, yeah, that is my final plant and my March favorites. Sorry this video was probably a little short and a little bit rambly, but I have just been loving all my plants recently because they're all growing so much with the light staying out longer and it warming up. I'm just excited to see what they all do this year. I am a little bit nervous about a couple of them. I have recently lost a Hoya, and I'm really worried about my Hoya multiflora, my variegated one. But I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'm sure it's going to be fine. But anyways, that, like I said, is my March favorites. The top 5 plants I've been checking on the most this month. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think that you guys should leave me a comment down below letting me know what's on your list for your March favorites or what plant is on your wish list to get next because I am definitely looking to add some more aeroids to my collection. We have a local plant swap coming up next month that I can't wait to go to. I haven't chopped anything up yet for it, so I should probably get on that. But I also want to thank Ana Luisa once again for sponsoring this video. You guys can find their jewelry in the description box down below, as well as my discount code if you're interested. And give this video a thumbs up if I didn't already say that, and subscribe to my channel for more random content. Bye!